So, hi there. I hope I'm online. Hello, lovely universe. Welcome to this session on embracing your ego. I am Lars-Eric Gustafsson, and I will make a short speech about me and my ego and describe it in a way that it is part of my whole existence. I can't be without my ego. I will talk about chaos and sensitivity, as well as feeling like a god and searching for meaning in life. I had a lot of challenging ideas in my mind when I was a child. For instance, I was convinced to have a clear connection to Jesus. I was like his representative on earth. I had a lot of glowing power inside me. It was like a volcano of emotions. Still, I was just 4 years old. At that time, I was attending Sunday school, and I loved the stories and the metaphors. Angels and Jesus preaching on the mountain, Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, and all the other stories. I was in the middle of a fantasy, and I could just be me and myself in my existence. The emotions were really mind blowing. I was like a child in a grown up's mind. I was curious and open-minded to others. I was like a small professor knowing a lot of facts. I was lively and in a way, but also vulnerable. I was like a delegate to the world from another planet. I was loved by the adults, but often misunderstood and teased by the other children. Especially when starting school, I will come back to my happy side later when diving into my ego. So I will jump to emotions of heavy pain and anxiety in early age. I was often worried as a child, and it became worse as time went on. I remember feeling powerless and vulnerable. I was worried that my parents would pass away and that I wouldn't be able to see them more. I felt for real a deep anxiety, though I was a small kid lying in my bed. My mind was blowing with a lot of thoughts and emotions of uncertainty. It may be hard to really enter all hard emotions of the past, but I feel I really have to try. I still can recall old times when it is replayed in my deja vus. I need to cry sometimes to let go all fears and tensions living inside me, controlling me. Nowadays, I sometimes listen to my best music and dream away, and tears are sometimes falling. It is like a redemption. I get new power and feel relieved. I really can embrace what there is that must go out of me. I have learned to accept my feelings as part of me. I'm not afraid of my fears anymore. I know how to handle them. Fears are energy. They tell me something I may be in favor of. Life is bigger than my fears. Fears remind me of what there used to be. Now I start to be free. I can climb the horrifying walls of all the way up. I don't care anymore what others say to me about me and how I am and what they say. I just don't care. I'm not that much more accurately. Sometimes I care something, but I try not to do that. I'm in power of my own life and can care more about how to design my own days. I act from my heart and my soul and use the power of my driving forces, which is the same as my ego. When I was a kid, I felt strongly I had to control my environment. I didn't know at that time that I was a highly sensitive person. I was so very affected by my surroundings, and I didn't always cope with it. I wanted to control my surroundings. I easily got frustrated. I reacted instantly on whatever was happening. I didn't like when people gave me names. I reacted heavily, but they went on, though. They liked calling me names since they found it easy to tease me and make me angry. And it had a negative effect on me. And obviously, they felt this in a positive way. To cope with my life, I have in recent years, established strategies not to being overwhelmed by impressions and not being affected by negative behavior from others. But when I grew up, I still had no strategies. I often felt weak and vulnerable. Sometimes I burst into tears. In school, I sometimes felt like the guy on the lowest step of the stair. I was caught in anxiety and I was scared. I feared some of the schoolmates. They were utterly aggressive and challenging to me. I escaped to my own universe in the weekends. I had a short relation with a sweet girl in my teens, but still I could not be free and happy. I'm easily distracted. I change from one focus to another focus, so there is no real and steady focus. But when flow comes, focus is total. I can do complex jobs highly effective in a short time. I learn fast when I'm relaxed and focused. But when I grew up, I felt like a freak. You're so weird and different, they said. They said it was amusing to tease me. It was so simple. I believe my openness and my rich inner life played a role here. I was always dreaming away. I liked dreaming about girls. The meter said to me, you must go to the closest gas station and fill your gas tank full. I was thinking a lot, but I didn't come anywhere. I felt like an empty gas tank. But where to find such a gas station? I had my moped, and it was easy to fill that tank, but my tank, how to fill my tank? As I said, I was sometimes and or almost always dreaming away, and I liked dreaming about girls. So they were in my dreams. They were like sweet, sexy princesses dancing for me, but in reality, they were not. I felt a strong longing for breaking out of old, devastating structures. I had to learn to manage my own life in a better way, to say no when I meant no, to say yes when I meant yes, to get the power to tell others about my deep frustration without bursting into tears. It was a long journey to get back life to where it began in my early years, feeling like having a connection to Jesus. Struggling work, struggling family life. Urgent problems disappeared, new problems arrived. Sometimes flashbacks came to me from earlier life. Who was I? What was the meaning of life? Was I wrong in a deeper sense or just more developed than the others? I sometimes felt like living on another planet than the others. I considered to move out of everything, but where to and into what? I didn't know anything about high sensitivity and that also was a kind of indigo child. An indigo mind could be found in my character, my strong beliefs and emotions, my expressive fantasies, my clear view on everything in life, my frustration, love, and despair, like living in a higher dimension, expecting others to be there too, but always being frustrated they are not. Always watching reality from the outside and like having a capability to x-ray other people's minds. Now you have been introduced to part of my life. My true me wants to achieve great deeds, most preferably something different and unique. I have a sensitivity to what is acceptable and what is not, what is beautiful and what is ugly, what I expect and what I do not expect. So let's turn to my life spider. For me, there is chaos, and I want to bring some sort of mental order in chaos. This is also part of my ego and one of my driving forces. The prefect. The prefect does not like to control just because control is nice in itself to control. There is, of course, also an intention of controlling for the prefect. Why is the prefect controlling? The intention is to avoid chaos and catastrophes. Intentions can be further developed, of course, in a kind that you get to know them better. A natural development would be to change perspective from avoiding things to achieving things. What do I want to achieve by the perfect? Instead of what do I want to avoid? I want to achieve real beauty and joy. I want to achieve great success. But I also want to shine, to be brilliant, to be the peacock of the hall, to send out vibrating signals. I want to entertain, and therefore there is another part of my ego, if my ego and the driving force, the entertainer. The entertainer is in a way the opposite of the prefect. The entertainer is closely linked to its intention to fill the room with spiritual energy. That's the meaning of entertaining. To bring joy and happiness to the audience, also to challenge and charm. As a man told me once to me, you are a dangerous man, when I was standing there and charming all the ladies in the room. This road in life has its own story. When I was happy and free as a child, I sang, I played, and I wrote and read poems. I wanted to be in the center like a shining boy. I soon realized I was happy to entertain when I was met with some sort of respect from others. I didn't like the bullying that came to me in school, but they could not stand a free entertainer. For me, entertaining is like the medicine of life. It is freedom and health, and I feel very great when I'm entertaining. It's the theater and dance floor. Sometimes I act in life as if it was a theater stage or a dance hall, as I said. And I get a lot of energy and I feel strong. I want to be admired and I want to be adored. This is closely linked to my childhood dreams of being a pop star with glittering costumes. Meaning is also an important component of life. I want to feel why I wake up in the morning. What is the purpose of the day? What is my great deed of the day to come? I seek for the deep relationship to my soul. So, when I'm about to do a job or make an errand, I often feel like I have to make an inner picture of what I am about to do. I can't just do it. I have to give my actions a meaning, and preferably a great meaning. I am not just digging in my potato field. I'm really starting a project of creating a paradise of my own garden. So I'm often occupied with dreaming and planning. My dreams fill me with great energy and make me unstoppable. Sometimes I dream in several dimensions, and I may also find meaning in several dimensions. My paradise garden may be meaningful both for me and for others. When I'm in a good mood, I'm very energetic and I will attract positive energy, good for others and good for me. My driving force is philosopher. The philosopher seeks for meaning and coherence. The feeling of greatness is what comes out. The intention is to open new worlds and perspectives. So, this is the meaning of the meaning. To open the society that is trapped in a duck pond, to find out ways to make people understand that they are not just ducks, they are swans in a swan lake, and it's an option for everybody. The life spider has two main purposes. One, to guide my life whenever I feel uncomfortable or want to interpret what is going on inside me, and one, to enable my own development based on what I am made for. With a life spider, I have a map for my life that signifies my essence, my life projects, my intentions, and driving forces of six legs. And two legs are supporting legs, and they are for basic needs. For me, it is a concrete companionship with my spider. So when I'm in a bad mood, I may embrace the spider and to find out where I'm standing and why the situation is as it is. The life spider opens a new universe of exciting and unexplored possibilities and brings me from the duck pond to the great swan lake, as I said. The life spider is the lifeline to grab when ground is shaking. And the life spider is the assurance not to have so many earthquakes in my life. My life spider makes me happy and makes me shine when I need. My life spider is for me to be proud of, something to be proud of and to share with others in my life spider community. If you haven't got a life spider yet, start to get one. Follow your heart and your longing from your inner soul to get one life spider, and you will never regret. It is uh, and finally, I will tell you some words about the ego. Your ego is beautiful and powerful. It is an inevitable part of you and your personality. Your ego makes you alive. It will make your inner longings come true. It's the power of your life. Your ego is inside you, and that makes what seems impossible, it will make it possible. With these words, I want to thank the audience listening to this, and I hope to see you soon. Wish you a happy continued Life Spider year, and I will stay here and answer in the comments. Thank you very much. Bye.